Hello and welcome. Because I very much value and appreciate your time, anytime I create a video, I try my very best to think of an opening question to capture your attention. So I'm very chagrined and very sad that I have to start with this question. Which of these cowboy hats best represents the true character of Russell Warren Kukla? The white hat, the good guy, or the black hat, the bad guy? The reason I ask you is that for a very long time, especially beginning of October of last year, my 2 stepsons and 4 stepdaughters and their spouses have been doing their very best to constantly promote Russell as the bad guy. And that's why I must take this time to share with you that Russell is, as our granddaughters and our grandsons know, Grandpa is the good guy. So to begin with, a small quote from our precious little granddaughter, Sierra, who's being most victimized and abused. Last time our little granddaughter slept over, which was many months ago, it was a Saturday night, and our little Sierra turned across the couch because she could hear Grandpa's busyness as usual late at night. And she looked over the couch and said to Grandpa, "Grandpa, please don't go to work in the morning." Our little granddaughters especially see the constant press that their grandpa puts on 365 days out of the year for the past 28 years. They've only been in my life for 8 years. Our 2 stepsons and 4 stepdaughters and their spouses have been abusing me and my granddaughters and grandsons, especially since October. Tara Lynn, their mother, cannot do anything to stop this abuse. Of course, my granddaughters and grandsons cannot do anything to stop this abuse. And that's why I must share with you the truth. So where do we start? We start very simply. As a true father figure, a true grandfather figure, why am I being abused by family? Very simply, I'd like to take a step back and speak about truth. I've been sharing for quite some time truth, a very large truth about the abuse of America's children, telling children what to memorize before ever teaching children how to memorize. I'm sure you'll agree with me. We should never tell a child what to do unless we've taught a child how to do. Am I correct? Is there any wavering in that? Anything that needs to be thought about? Absolutely not. One of the most difficult things to do is to memorize. So I've been promoting that this is national child abuse, this hidden, unintended national child abuse that must stop. So instead of supporting Russell and helping to promote this message to stop the abuse of children, I'm being attacked. So it's actually going on in America, and with Russell, a false negative concept of Russell is being constantly, viciously promoted for absolutely zero reason, never a reason explained. Instead of, which should be lovingly promoted, is a true positive reality about a stepfather, a grandfather, Russell Warren Kukla. So that's the difference. So after 28 years, a very early picture of Tara Lynn, our daughter Tara, her daughter Tara, my stepdaughter Tara, at an early age, and a wedding picture. So it's important that we look at the numbers. This is meant to be healing. This truth is meant to be healing. And what I've learned in the past is numbers help to share the truth. So the truth. I met Tara Lynn November 24th, 1992. That's 28 years, 6 months, and 5 days ago. I married Tara Lynn March 18th, 1995. That's 26 years, 2 months, and 11 days ago. She and I started the Healing Arts Day Spa June 1st, 1998. That's 22 years, 11 months, and 28 days ago. How do we compare those numbers? I'm quite sure those numbers reflect the good guy. Do they not? In my closet of incorrect social interactions, I guess you could say, with other women, there are 0 skeletons in my closet. So instead, the bad guy. Well, let's look at the numbers by those who are promoting Russell as a bad guy. We have those in our family who have 0 marriage years. 0. 0 marriage months, 0 marriage weeks. In combination with that, we have those in our family who have multiple divorces. Multiple meaning 2 and 3 divorces. In our family, we have those who have 0 solid relationships. Not years, not months, not weeks, but not even days of one solid relationship. And guess what? They're blaming Russell. Russell is the one that needs to improve. Russell's the one that needs to straighten up. Russell's the problem of why I'm being attacked, which is hurting their mother, hurting their children, hurting my grandchildren. Russell's the problem. So how do we bring about healing? Well, there's basically 3 types to participate. In family intervention requires family participation. For a long time, since at least October, I've been the single one standing out to stop this abuse. Tara Lynn's tried her best. She has emailed, text message, spoke with her 2 sons and 4 daughters and their spouses, and they will not stop the abuse. So out of the group that's involved, which one are you? Are you uninformed? Well, guess what? You're now informed about this abuse of a true father figure, the abuse of a true grandfather figure. Along with that, are you the innocent, like myself and Tara Lynn and our grandsons and our granddaughters? Are you defending? Are you a defender of the innocent? Or are you one of the abusers? Or are you one of the enablers of the abusers? Those who know better must do better. Those who need help, a psychiatrist, a psychologist, a counselor, possibly medication. Those who are the abusers need help. If you're enabling, if you know better and simply refuse to do better, you're enabling these abusers. You're giving them the right to continue their abuse of a true father figure. Tara Lynn, the mother, the grandmother, a true grandmother figure, and of our grandsons and our granddaughters. So to pin it with a quote from one who recognized abuse, in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, the abusers, but the silence of our friends, those who are enabling the abusers. So when will you throw the switch to take a stand against the constant participation of promoting Russell as the false negative concept of Russell Warren Kukla? Instead, when you begin to throw the switch and promote the true positive reality of Russell Warren Kukla. Take a look in America today. Do you see this elsewhere in America today? I do. Do I need to explain? This is not the time for me to explain, but this is what I see in America today. True father figures are constantly being represented as a false negative concept instead of standing up for the true positive reality. To consider, several days ago, Carolyn and I were on the couch hurting, and she said to me, "Why am I involved in this? I didn't do anything." Neither have I. And yet the constant abuse of a true father figure, a true grandfather figure, the constant abuse of a true mother figure, a true grandmother figure. Back in December, our little Sierra was with myself and her grandmother. Said, "Grandpa, Violetta and I want things to go back to normal. So before you unleash your own sickness upon myself and possibly my family, think of that quote coming from a child. Children know the truth. These children are now afraid of what's going on. No one has explained to them why they can no longer participate with their grandfather and therefore their grandmother." Violetta, one of the last times Grandpa was permitted to pick up his granddaughters at school. Violetta's quote, "Grandpa and Grandma, Sierra and I prayed we could see you today." These are the little babies, the little grandchildren that are being abused along with their grandmother and their grandfather. So who is to blame? I'm not to blame. Carolyn's not to blame. Our grandsons are not to blame. Our granddaughters are not to blame. Even those who are sick, going by the numbers, are not to blame. It's those who know better, who are refusing to do better, who are to blame. They're allowing the false negative concept of Russell to be constantly promoted, viciously promoted, instead of lovingly promoting the true grandfather figure, the true stepfather figure. So again, going back to education, Martin Luther King, a solid presentation. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. In the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. Martin Luther King Jr. So instead of promoting the true father figure, the true grandfather figure, and helping Russell, everyone's trying to tear down Russell because I take a stand for truth. And that's what's common in America today. Tear down the true father figure because they are so adamant against any father figure. They want to wear the big pants, even for a very loving, caring, nurturing, forgiving, patient father figure. One example, always trying my best to help at the Healing Arts. So I recently framed this photo of my 2 stepsons and 4 stepdaughters, and I put it in Carolyn Kukla's room with, kind of hard to do here, with flowers so that each and every person who enters Carolyn Kukla's treatment room knows right away this lady serving you for 60 minutes, 90 minutes, 120 minutes, 180 minutes or more is a mother of 6. Might this help in the conversation with those who also have family, may need help with their family? Might this help to increase the tips, the gratuity for Carolyn Kukla? This is one tiny example that I take the time, I make the effort to put something in place to help my family, even in a small way. And instead of others doing this, participating positively to make a difference, they instead choose to tear down Russell, to tear down and hurt my family and our family business. Please choose to participate. Those who know better, who must do better, to defend the true father figure of our family, the true grandfather figure of our family, to stop the abuse of our children, our grandchildren. Hello and welcome. Because I very much value and appreciate your time, anytime I create a video, I try my very best to think of an opening question to capture your attention. So I'm very chagrined and very sad that I have to start with this question. Which of these cowboy hats best represents the true character of Russell Warren Kukla? The white hat, the good guy, or the black hat, the bad guy? The reason I ask you is that for a very long time, especially beginning of October of last year, my